For over 3,000 years, a boy king slept beneath the sands of Egypt, untouched, forgotten, and waiting. Then, in November 1922, the world watched in awe as Howard Carter peered into the darkness of tomb KV-62 and beheld things wonderful. But the discovery of Tutankhamun was not just an archaeological event. It was a storm of immense wealth, scientific revolution, nationalist pride, and sensationalized death. The search for Tutankhamun's tomb was driven by the relentless dedication of Howard Carter, an archaeologist trained by the great Flinders Petrie. Carter's partner was George Herbert, the 5th Earl of Carnarvon, a wealthy English aristocrat who had turned to Egyptology after a near-fatal car accident left him in fragile health. By 1914, Carnarvon had purchased excavation rights in the Valley of the Kings and funded Carter's work for years without success. By mid-1922, he was ready to give up. Carter, convinced that one tomb still lay hidden near the burial of Ramesses VI, begged for one last season, and Carnarvon agreed. On November 4, 1922, one of Carter's workers uncovered the first step of a staircase beneath ancient huts. It led to a sealed doorway stamped with the Royal Necropolis seal. Carter wired his sponsor, "At last have made a wonderful discovery in the valley. A magnificent tomb with seals intact. Await your arrival." Carnarvon arrived in Cairo on November 20th, accompanied by his daughter, Lady Evelyn Herbert. When the final door was opened on November 26th, Carter raised a candle, gazed inside, and whispered the words that would echo through history. Yes, wonderful things. Inside lay gilded couches, chariots, caskets, the golden throne, and treasures glinting with gold. The tomb, though small, was the most complete royal burial ever found. The discovery came just as Egypt had gained partial independence. A surge of nationalist pride, known as Pharaohism, turned the excavation into a matter of national identity. Carnarvon deepened the tension by granting exclusive media rights to the Times of London. Egyptian and foreign journalists, furious at being excluded, saw this as another act of colonial arrogance. Meanwhile, Pierre Lecoux, head of the Antiquities Service, watched the operation closely. In 1924, the nationalist Waft Party came to power under Prime Minister Saad Zaghloul, determined to assert Egypt's ownership of its ancient heritage. When Carter tried to host a private viewing of the tomb for foreign guests, the Egyptian government objected. Carter locked the tomb in protest, a move that violated his excavation license. The government responded by revoking the concession and sending officials to reopen the site under Egyptian supervision. Ultimately, Lady Carnarvon relinquished all claims to the artifacts. Every one of the 5,398 objects found in the tomb was declared the property of Egypt, to be kept in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. On April 5, 1923, just 5 months after the discovery, Lord Carnarvon died suddenly in Cairo at age 56. The press, angry over the Times monopoly, seized the story and invented the legend of a pharaoh's curse. In truth, Carnarvon's death was caused by septicemia and pneumonia, triggered by an infected mosquito bite. Still, eerie tales spread rapidly. His dog supposedly died the same moment in England, and Carter's pet canary was said to have been killed by a cobra. Both stories were later disproved. Howard Carter himself lived for another 17 years, completing the meticulous clearance of the tomb. Decades later, scientific research replaced superstition. Between 2007 and 2009, the Tutankhamun Family Project used CT scans and DNA testing to reveal the young king's true condition. Tutankhamun was frail. He suffered from a cleft palate, a curved spine, and severe foot deformities, clubfoot on the left and flatfoot on the right. He also had juvenile bone necrosis in his left foot, which made walking painful and required the use of canes. In fact, 130 walking sticks were found in his tomb, many showing heavy wear. DNA analysis confirmed repeated infections with Plasmodium falciparum, the parasite that causes the most dangerous form of malaria. Scientists now believe a combination of bone disease, a leg fracture, and acute malaria led to his death around the age of 19. The myth of a supernatural curse has long faded. What remains is the story of a fragile young pharaoh whose tomb survived by accident, safeguarded by time and rediscovered through relentless human will. The true magic of Tutankhamun lies not in vengeance or mystery, but in the astonishing preservation of wonderful things that continue to reveal the humanity of ancient Egypt. If this story moved you, like this video to help others discover the truth behind Egypt's greatest mystery. Subscribe for more cinematic journeys into ancient history, and together, let's keep uncovering the past, one legend at a time.